Welcome back to Sports by GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Jeremy Lapidus. If you're just tuning in, we have just finished a full first-round mock draft. We broke down all 32 picks, talked about the fit for each one, possible trades, as draft day is tonight. So if you want to go check that out, see what I thought your team would be doing, go take a look at the last three segments. We did the first 10 picks in the first segment, and the next 13 in the second, and then we finished off the last 9 or so in the third segment. In this fourth segment, like I was saying, we are going to talk about the NBA playoffs. You have two games from last night, two very different outcomes from the first game that happened. We'll break them all down. But before we do, remember, if you would like to be an even bigger part of the show than you already are, all you need to do is go to gsmcpodcast.net, leave a tip or donation with a message in it. That message will pop up on the bottom of the screen for you, me, and everybody else around the world to see. Appreciate anything that you do give. Appreciate all of you for sticking around and staying with me through this show. Like I was saying, go to that link on the screen, gsmcpodcast.net. We appreciate anything you give. Let's get right into the NBA, shall we? The NBA playoffs continue to roll. More games tonight, but we had two games last night. Made games to go for almost every single series now, I believe. The first game of the night was between the Celtics and the Heat, and the Heat caught fire from three. If you remember what pushed them through the playoffs last season was their insane three-point shooting, and it's back. You don't want to predict it because they weren't the greatest three-point shooting team throughout the regular season, but something about the Heat magic in the playoffs, they just don't miss from three. They shot 53% from the three-point line as a team. 53%. That's not normal. That's not something that they should be counting on all the time, but they win by 10 against the Celtics. The Celtics are very, very, very good team. They had two of their players, Drew Holiday especially, and Kristaps Porzingis. Both of them were inefficient. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum both combined and had a really, really, really good game. You know, they come in here and they score 61 points on like 63% true shooting. They had really good games, but the Heat made a franchise record number of threes. They made 23 threes. It's a franchise record. They were cooking from downtown. They could not miss. They shot 53%. 53% from three. And if you can shoot like that every night, you're going to win a lot of games. I don't want to count on the Heat to do this every night, but they have shown the ability to do it. It took them all the way to the NBA Finals last year. If they can do this long enough, they can take down the Celtics, and that would be one of the biggest upsets of all time. The Heat, of course, it would be the Heat to do this. That's just what the Heat do in the postseason, I guess. They just start making all their threes. Tyler Hero had a great game, 24 and 14. Really, all their shooters had a good game. They all, like I said, they shot 53% from three. You're not going to find a guy that's not shooting well when a team as a whole is shooting 53% from three. I can't get over that. That is crazy. But the other game, the Thunder Pelicans, which was probably the best out of all of the game ones over the weekend, they come together and the Thunder just blow them out. The defense from the Thunder is what really stuck out to me. The Pelicans couldn't get anything done. They were hounded by the Thunder defense. Jalen Williams was really impressive. It's really what it came down to. Their defense they just outclassed them. Really, at the end of the day, there wasn't a lot that the Pelicans could do. It wasn't all bad for the Pelicans. They had some bright spots. C.J. McCollum made some tough shots. Not really what you want to be the highlight of the game, that they made some tough shots. But they fall behind 2-0 to a really hungry Thunder team, excuse me. Dominant. When you shoot 26% from three, it definitely doesn't help. No one on the bench made a single three-pointer. Uh, Not really a great spot to be in. All of your starters, I mean, you got blown out in this game. They just kind of outclassed them. Chet Holmgren had a really solid game. All of the Thunder starters were in double figures. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander put up 33 points. Uh, Jalen Williams was the one I was really impressed with, defensively at least. He was just huge for them on defense. They got some really quality minutes out of a lot of guys off the bench. Uh, Isaiah Joe was really impressive. He was 2 for 2 from three. He had a couple big shots to really help them pull away in the first half, but it really was just utter domination by the Thunder in this game. There really wasn't much else outside of that. It was just domination, domination, domination. They didn't really give the Pelicans much of a chance to come back. That defense was suffocating. The defense really, really held strong and helped them even when they weren't going through their best shooting stretch, which they shot really well throughout the whole game. It was just a much different game than the one that New Orleans won, that New Orleans almost won in Game 1. If they are able to, keep that up for the rest of the series, I mean, New Orleans didn't play a bad game. Oklahoma City came to play. They hit, again, 50% from three, 59%. The three-point shooting really is the big disparaging factor here. They just kind of outclassed them. And this is what more will be expected than that first game when it came down to the buzzer. The Pelicans, I just don't think have enough to keep up with a team like the Thunder. Which is a shame because the Pelicans, if they had Zion, I think this would be a really entertaining series. And it sucks that he's not here, but you just have to deal with what you have to deal with. And unfortunately, injuries are a part of the sport. So, unfortunately, that's just how it goes sometimes. But anyway, lots to talk about. 3 more NBA games today. The Knicks play Game 3 of their series. It's back in Philly for the first time. That's at 7:30. Orlando, also down 0-2, goes home for the first time against the Cavs. And also down 0-2, the Lakers host their first home game against the Nuggets. So trying to see if the home court advantage really is that big of a difference for some of these teams. If they go down 3-0, all of these teams, I think they're done. I think the 76ers will take this one. I think the Cavs are just going to finish off the Magic, and the Nuggets, I think, are going to finish off the Lakers. The Sixers need to win this game if they have any chance. Joel Embiid said that he still thinks they can win this series, and all they need to do is beat the Knicks at home. They're favored by 5.5, but lots of close spreads on these games. I'm going Cavs, Sixers, Nuggets in this one. But anyway, check back in tomorrow, see if I was right or wrong. We'll break down the NFL draft tomorrow. We'll do MLB power rankings, all of that and more. Thank you, everybody, so much for tuning in today to Sports by GSMC Podcast Network. I've been your host, Jeremy Lapidus. I will be back here same time, same place tomorrow. You guys have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great.